Hi everybody, this is Jo from Carrier Crystal Healing and from the Energetic Shift group on Facebook. It's been quite a while since I've done a video and I'm not really in the right frame of mind to do one, but I've been really pushed to do it for the last hour and I was putting it off hoping that they might leave me alone, but they're not. I don't really know, I haven't been given anything in advance like I normally would, so I'm just going to go with it and see what comes through. The time between the 26th of December and the last full moon on the 10th, so that eclipse portal, the energy was absolutely crazy. I took a little bit of a battering, certainly not the worst that I've felt, but I can imagine that for some of you it could have been quite a battering as well. So hopefully by now you've started to recover a little bit from it, hopefully. Usually what I've noticed in the past is when you've been through something like that, it's given you lots of work that you know that you need to do, then changes that you need to make, things that you need to confront within yourself, like, why am I doing this? Why do I think this? Where has this come from? How am I going to overcome this? And it can be a bit of a planning time, and also a time to start to take some action. We have a new moon on Friday the 24th, that's here in UK time. And so the new moons are new starts, new beginnings potentially. And with this new moon being like the close out of the eclipse portal, which started on the 26th of December, we might well be given some freedom to actually start doing something, because the energy has been so intense that we haven't really been able to do anything. It's just been about fending off those waves of energy, just treading water. So it now feels like we might be able to start to do something with what we have discovered or learned or uncovered. I realise now as well that I've started to talk to two separate groups. So first wavers are coming towards the end of, towards the end of the worst bits, shall we say, because the work still continues afterwards and it never gets easy, but the worst bits should be over. And then we have the second wave who are coming online, and they will just be beginning what you have been through already. The good news for second wavers, if that applies to you, where you feel like things are starting to get shaken up, is that the Mavericks, which would be me, a few people who led the way, and then followed by the first wavers, those groups of people have done a lot of the real dense work and paved the way for you a little bit, whereas I was tearing through stuff that there was no path carved for me whatsoever. And then the first wavers helped to trample the ground through a little bit more. So second wavers you're going to find it's a little bit easier to navigate your way, because you've got people to follow, you've got a path that's been sort of laid out a little bit more for you. You'll still have hard work to do, but it's going to be easier because you've got people who are there to show you the way. Now, what it's really important for me to say at this point is that this journey is not about somebody else doing it for you, and it's not about you doing it for somebody else. As star beings, light workers, whatever you want to say, our tendency can be and is to help other people, and it can be to rescue them as well, but there's nothing wrong with helping people, that's not what I'm saying here. But when it comes to this shift towards 5D, nobody can do this for you, and you cannot do this for anybody else. You may well be able to support them, but actually it's more important that you are doing your work. So if you can manage doing your work and helping other people at the same time, then okay. but the focus needs to be on you. So if you cannot do anything else, then your focus has to be on you. In terms of the spiritual work, now I'm not talking about if you've got children, that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the kind of healer side of us. So it's really important that we are attending to our own journey towards 5D, which means clearing what needs to be cleared and integrating what needs to be integrated. So we're shifting the 3D, lower vibrational, lower density energies, emotions, patterns, people, situations, clearing all of that which is out of alignment, so that we can realign then with the 5D, which is actually closer to our soul. And it is why we have come here. And so where light beings and star workers want to help, it's because, just as I looked at the clock then, it's been going 555. I love it, which is big change. Everybody has a different way of interpreting these numbers, but for me 555 is about big changes happening. We are here to create that big change, and we are here to help, and that is how we're here to help, by creating this big change, not by helping other people necessarily. And so if we focus our energy and intentions on shifting ourselves to 5D, losing everything that is 3D, that is us fulfilling our mission. That is us doing our bit. And so that's the priority, and it has to be. And then as you shift towards 5D, as I shift into 5D, as the rest of the people who are watching shift to 5D, we start to create that critical mass, that those critical numbers of people who are in 5D and who are anchoring it stably, constantly. And that's why things are easier for the people who are coming up behind, because we've already created that foundation of 5D. And so it's really, really important that you focus on your stabilization in that 5D energy. So I just wanted to make that really, really clear. They wanted to make that really, really clear. Okay, what I've got here is a piece of garnet. Very grounding crystal, very good for manifesting abundance and prosperity. And actually that's one of the workshops that I'm going to be doing. I think it's in March that I'm doing that one. So abundance and prosperity and relationships, they're very Venus kind of themes. And I've been talking about Venus quite a bit, and maybe it feels like I have. I hope that it's come across there, because I know I haven't posted a video for a while. But with Venus, that's all about love and money. And the whole thing with the 5D shift towards that unity consciousness is, it's all tied in to do with those things, those Venus things. Venus is that feminine energy. That's what unity consciousness and 5D is all about. But the way that we are attracting love and money is changing dramatically through these shifts. So the old ways of earning money and being in relationships just doesn't apply anymore. So these are the things that we start to notice that fall away, because the 3D wants us to chase after things and to overgive and to overdo all the time, just in order to feel like we deserve it and we're worthy of it. When we're in 5D, we already know that we're worthy of it. We already know that it's there for us. We don't need to work ourselves to death just to get that, because it's already there. And it's about receiving it rather than chasing after it. And so pay attention to where that might be coming up for you right now, where you are chasing after love or money. Now the chasing could be people pleasing, saying yes when really you want to say no, feeling obligated, doing things which make you feel really heavy. So it might be going to a job that you really don't enjoy, and you're only doing it really because of the money. And so this, I'm not saying, give up your job and chuck it all in and forget about it. But start to pay attention to where things are not resonating with you, where things feel like they're dense and heavy and a struggle, a challenge and not enjoyable, because it's a sure sign that that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And it's time to start looking, and as I said, we're planning and preparing what it is that would be more in alignment with your soul, where you can receive doing something that makes you feel light and happy and joyous, so that you can start then to take action on it when the time is right. And so it's really about getting clear about those kinds of things. And that's really interesting actually, because I've got 2 decks of cards here. One of them is my trusty crystal therapy cards deck, which I've used before, but the other one is one that I don't usually use for readings like this. It's a personal deck, and I was like, why am I gonna use that? I don't use this for readings, and I actually don't feel too confident using these for a reading, but I've been drawn to, and this is again something that's been niggling at me all day to get these cards out. So they've been here next to me all day, and I've been working with them for myself. These are the Journey of Love cards by Alana Fairchild and Richard Cohen. So I'm going to take one of those actually, which fits in what I was just saying really nicely. I hadn't planned any of this. The prosperity, the abundance, the love, the manifestation. So all of these Venus themes. So let's see. I have already shuffled these cards, but I'm going to shuffle them once more just to make sure. If you do enjoy these little readings that I do in my videos, then please feel free to book a reading with me, and you can find a link to my Eventbrite page down below. I normally do these videos kind of in the morning or early afternoon. This is a little bit late for me, so I don't think I'm quite as coherent as normal. You might disagree, but I don't feel on top form. Okay, so, oh no, that's too many. I only want one. There it is. Okay, so the card that we have is Sacred Convergence, number 28. So the 2 and 8 together creates a 10, which is a number 1, new beginnings, and that's what I've been talking about for quite some time, where we are due these new beginnings. So Mavericks and First Wavers, new beginnings are being created now from an energy which is in alignment with your soul. So it's more closely aligned with who you are and will bring you more fulfillment and happiness. And that's what those portals, the eclipse portals, were all about. Timeline shifts and shifting into a higher vibrational timeline where you can create a higher vibrational reality in the physical. Second wavers, you are preparing for new beginnings where you are shedding and releasing and transmuting old, outworn, dated energies. You're creating the foundations for those new beginnings to be built upon. So that might involve some stuff being taken down. But you know, you can't create unless the old stuff has been removed. I do feel like many people that I'm talking to here now have, and it doesn't matter when you're listening because it's kind of timeless, whenever you find it is the right time for you, they've kind of got one foot in both worlds. You're at a convergence point, and so you might feel amazing one day, horrid the next. You might feel really positive one day and you know exactly what you're doing, and then the next day you might feel really quite low, you don't know what you're doing, everything feels hopeless. And so you might need to get used to feeling like that a little bit. So don't worry, you're not doing anything wrong if that's the way that you're feeling. I certainly have been there. The better days eventually start to outweigh the kind of heavy days. So I'm just asking you to trust that, really, that it will be a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until you eventually stabilize into 5D vibration. Okay, I'm going to read some from the book here. They have like little poems and stuff for each day, as well as a write-up. So I'm going to just have a little scan and see if anything jumps out at me. Okay, I like it. So number 28, Sacred Convergence. There is coming together happening within your body and soul, a unification of all that is within you. This is akin to travelling to a strange land, as all sorts of new sensations, not all welcome at first, begin to make themselves known to you. So that's echoing just what I was already saying. If you are experiencing discomfort within your own body, or uncertainty and a sense of expansion to include more of life in your thoughts and feelings, then you are conscious of this sacred convergence. It's like two worlds or more colliding. Oh my gosh. If you are sensitive, you will feel it happening as an important event without necessarily having a physical situation to attribute the experience to, or upon which to hang an explanation. So much of this journey is all about just trusting and not knowing what the hell's going on, where the hell you are and what you're doing, but you just have to keep trusting. You may also be encountering this in a very physical sense by finding yourself in situations which you previously would have avoided. You may be meeting people and thrown into relationship with them, apparently more by circumstance than by your own conscious choosing. This is a meeting of you with your shadow, and something to rejoice in, even if it is uncomfortable at times. So where it's saying there, meeting of you with your shadow, what immediately pops into my mind is where you may be thrown into situations which are 3D, as like a test for what you've been through. So it's to show you how far you've come and what you've managed to achieve, and I've experienced that myself quite a lot, and it's like a test for you to say, no, this isn't what I want anymore. I can see that I'm here again and I don't want it. So be aware of that happening. I'll carry on reading. So be gentle and loving with yourself, and kindly seek to find the beauty in what you are learning about yourself, in your interactions and experiences. You are a wise soul seeking to know yourself rather than judge others. So there's that 3D as well. Don't judge others. This is about you appreciating yourself, your journey, your work, how far you have come, and your ability to make better choices for yourself. There's something that's niggling that I've read, and it triggered something off in my mind, and I was going to say it and I can't quite get it. Remember your divine perfection as you are thrilled and challenged in this time of great growth. You are guided to be curious, as though travelling to a foreign land, and remaining open to experiencing its treasures. This oracle holds a message for you. A deeper part of yourself is calling you forward. Any discontent, struggle, anxiety or fear is a subconscious recognition of this. Don't worry. You are a unique plant in the divine garden. You don't have to know what plant you are in order to grow. You just need to live each day, and the growth happens naturally. Then you can see over time the beauty of your true nature revealing itself to you. It will be a revelation to be relished. So they've put it probably a lot more eloquently than I could, but they've kind of confirmed what it is that I was talking about. So be aware that you may well get these little tests, and what it's doing is asking you to make those wise choices for yourself, knowing what you know now. Perhaps you went into situations blindly and ended up in situations that you didn't want to be in before, but this is giving you the chance to make a conscious choice. I'm going to take one more card before I go. And that's what 5D is all about. It's about being conscious of what it is that you want, being conscious of what you don't want, becoming conscious of those unconscious beliefs that were holding you back before. Okay. Just seeing if something else is going to come through, that thing that was niggling at me before. If it doesn't come, it wasn't meant to. Okay. Okay, lovely. We have Labradorite. The key word is truth. And again, Labradorite is something that has been niggling at me all day. I've been seeing pictures of it. Little adverts for pieces of Labradorite jewellery, all of that kind of stuff. So, truth. What we've been talking about there, becoming conscious of what it is that we're doing so that we can live by the truth of our soul, not by the constructs that society create for us. Oh, I've just noticed I've got another card that's fallen here. I'll talk about that one in a minute. Labradorite is also a really good protection crystal, so it might be good for you to carry that as you go about your daily life now, because you may well be encountering these 3D situations, so some protection there. So that's a really good one to be using. There's something that I'm missing. This is why I do them earlier on, because I'm tired and my it's like the spirit is too fast for my body to keep up with. I'm going to leave it, and if it's meant to come to me, it will. And then the mystery bonus card is Blue Lace Agate. And again, throat chakra, all about truth, an expression of your truth. And this is about expressing your soul, living your life from your soul, not from fear, not what's expected, not because it earns you money. When you're in alignment with your soul, you are also in alignment with unlimited abundance too, anyway. And it's about trusting that. The blue colours are all about trust as well. And that's what I was getting through with the Labradorite. Truth, trust. Trusting that the real you is more than enough. A lot of people who I will be talking to here, well, every single one of you, will be star beings, and you will be used to not feeling like you fit in, that you do not belong, feeling that you're not good enough. Unworthiness has been a big thing, and that's why people do things that they don't really want to, because they feel like they won't be accepted and they have to do things in order to be accepted, and that's not the case anymore. And it's about unlearning that. So you don't need to do anything to fit in, you don't need to do anything to be good enough. You already are. And so you don't need to prove anything to anybody, you don't need to earn anything. So please honour your truth, and if you're not sure what your truth is, go within and find out what is. Become conscious of it and start to act upon it. Even if that action is just writing it down for now, because you don't know how else to get there, the answers will come. They will become conscious to you in like a peeling off the layers type way. So start by getting in tune with who you really are, and your emotions are a really good guide for that. So if something feels wrong for you, there's probably a good reason for it, and so it could be the motivation behind it that is the key, rather than necessarily what it is that you're actually doing. Okay, so I hope that has helped you somewhere along the way. Hopefully it will not be so long until the next video. If you're interested in any of my other services, you'll find links down below. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to this video and to this channel. And just kind of see, I don't think it's going to come through, I'm really sorry. I'll leave it as a comment if anything comes through. So what I will do is I will send you lots of love. Until the next time, take care, bye bye.